Today's video is going to be different from what you might be used to seeing in this space. There's going to be no flashy cars, no income screenshots, just some honest truths. So I'm Lex, and after helping hundreds of entrepreneurs build high-ticket dropshipping businesses, I've seen both the incredible successes and the devastating failures in this business model. So today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on what I call the dark side of high-ticket dropshipping. These are the brutal truths that most people won't tell you because it could discourage you from buying their programs. But here's the thing. I believe you deserve the complete picture before investing your time, money, and hopes into this business model. And ironically, understanding these challenges is actually what will set you up for success while other people fail who are not consuming this content. So by the end of this video, you're going to know the 5 brutal truths about high-ticket dropshipping, and more importantly, how to navigate them successfully if you decide this business model is right for you. So grab your notebook, get a drink, turn off distractions, and let's get real about high-ticket dropshipping. So we can see here, this is the dark side of high-ticket dropshipping, the 5 brutal truths that no one will tell you, and we're gonna do a big reality check, okay? So let me just start by showing you this. This is what everyone says you can achieve. You'll see a lot of videos online, and they're showing off the Lamborghini, they're showing off the laptops on the beach, they're relaxing, no stress, all chill. This is a dream, and you're being sold a dream, and that dream, as many of you may know who are watching this right now, is not the reality, okay? And I assume that a lot of you just want to build this business to create a supplementary income, to perhaps quit your 9-to-5 and build something with longevity. So what I'd suggest you do, and I'm sure you're doing that already, is ignore what you're seeing online about what people say can happen when you build these types of businesses. I'm not saying you can't have all these nice things, but online, there is all positivity. But in this video, what I'm going to show you is the truths. So there are 5 points we're going to cover. These 5 truths are the supplier power dynamic, critically important. How do you actually negotiate with suppliers? Why would they work with you? If you haven't had a business before, I get this a lot. A lot of people who've never built this business say, well, why are these expensive brands, reputable brands, even going to trust me? We're going to cover that. The startup costs, what are they? What are the truths about that? How do you actually scale ads, and how do the ads work? Customer service, that's a real big one because a lot of people forget this. Yes, we're selling less items, but you still have to have a system in place. And finally, what are the timelines? What are the realities? How much can you earn from this based on the average figures? The first brutal truth nobody talks about is the reality of supplier power dynamics in high-ticket dropshipping. Most gurus out there say, reach out to suppliers, show them your beautiful store, and they'll be excited to partner with you. Here's the reality. As a new dropshipper with no track record, you have virtually zero leverage with quality suppliers. The brutal truth is that good suppliers are approached by dozens of dropshippers every single week, and most of them say no to almost everyone. And you can see here, I've put together an example email, dropshipping inquiry. This is a reply to you from a high-ticket supplier. Thanks for reaching out, but unfortunately, we will not be able to work with you as we aren't taking on any more dropshippers. Best regards. Very curt. And if you don't follow this process correctly and you don't approach them correctly, you really only get a couple of chances. I think you would agree your reputation is quite easy to break. And if you break your reputation or your honesty or your trustworthiness, if you break your credibility, then it's very difficult to get them back on board. In my first business, I didn't really know what I was doing. And on my first store, I was rejected by over 48 suppliers before getting my first yes. 48. And that supplier wasn't even that great. The power dynamic means several things for you. First, you're going to need to be prepared for rejection, and a lot of it. This isn't a business for thin-skinned. You'll need to develop resilience and persistence. Now, here are the key concerns. So they're concerned in certain ways. That you're an unknown entity with no proven sales ability, okay? And I get this question a lot, and we'll address how we answer this. Suppliers have been burned by dropshippers who misrepresent their products. This does happen a lot. People come into the market, they undercut. They also worry about brand dilution and price competition. They have existing relationships that they prioritize, which I get this question a lot too, is why would they work with you if they're working with other people? And also many suppliers don't understand or trust our model, okay? So if you are an unknown entity with no proven sales ability, how do we get them to work with you? Well, we can show them a few things. We can show them that we have, number one, a registered company. That's the first thing. I get a lot of people saying, can I do this self-employed without a business? You need a company. Number two, how do we then show them that we're serious? And what do we educate them about? Well, we're going to have our demonstration store. And what this is it's a version of our Shopify store, nearly the final version that we put together. We do this on our program, and we use that to share with suppliers to show them that we're serious and that actually we've kind of pre-built the business. We're ready to launch. The third thing is that we need to say the right things. Okay, this is really, really key. So we need to say the right things. And I'll talk about that near the end of the video where we talk about the outreach. And the fourth thing is that we need to be able to educate them. And that means educating them on how the business works, how marketing works, how Google Ads works, how we can generate them more sales. With the second part, where they've been burned by dropshippers who misrepresent them, it's very easy to overcome that. What we can say here is that we're going to run a 90-day trial. So we say 90-day trial. Again, this puts all of their objections to one side. You can say, if it doesn't work out with us, you can remove us from your books. And trust me, not me or one of my students has ever been removed from a supplier's books. So they may worry about the brand dilution and price competition, but here are some facts. Okay, I'm going to give you some stats here. So we're going to use the UK. You can use the USA if you're there, or Europe if you're there. But in the UK, there's currently, nearly 70 million people. And if we're advertising to that many people every day, it would cost that brand around sort of 50 pence, so 50p, half of a pound, to advertise to get a click, to get some attention. And so with that, it's around 35 million pounds per day, or 1 billion per month, close to that, for them to advertise to every single person every day. And that's a utopia for them. I'm sure you would agree, if it's a wine cooler company, they would want to advertise to every person every day, even if they're not interested, because eventually it'll persuade them. Yeah. But that's going to cost them a huge amount. And I promise you, there is no brand, maybe apart from Apple, that is spending that amount. So this is linking to the last point that we made here, which is about education. It's about educating them. And that's what we do as we go through with suppliers. That power dynamic, again, when you're in business, when you're speaking with these suppliers, we need to come with more value. So what we're doing is we're coming with more perceived value than they are giving us. So you can write that down. So effectively, we are, by doing that, we're sharing with them that we're basically here to offer them more value. And there are some other points here. So they have existing relationships, okay, and many don't understand or trust us. So how do we build that trust? What do we say? So some of the things here, and this is a real golden point, is what we use in our program is we go to them and say that we are a marketing platform. And that is the key word. I really want you to remember that. Neuro-linguistic programming language is very powerful. We say we're going to promote their products completely free of charge, without cost to them, to new audiences, and we're going to do it for free. Okay? So we're promoting, we're advertising for free, and we're effectively growing the market. So I'm not sure about you, but if you were to go and hire a marketing agency, they'd charge you a retainer, they'd charge you a percentage of sales. We're effectively coming to them from that approach. We're not saying we're a retailer, a drop shipper, we have a store, nothing like that. We're just saying that we're here to get them more eyeballs, more sales. So these concerns can be overridden with what you say, right? And that's a really important part. So the next thing here is startup costs. And obviously with startup costs, there are two ways of doing this. So one is if you do it yourself, if you were to just go off and hire people, hire freelancers, you weren't to come into a program like we have or a mentorship like we have. And that's fine. That's actually the way I started before I joined programs. And I've invested over £100,000. So I would say to date, I've invested over 100K. plus over £100,000 I personally invested into e-commerce mentors, trainers, marketing agencies, freelancers, all sorts of people. So what I'll do is I'll just cover with you some of the costs and you can write these down. This will be really beneficial. And so first thing is the legal requirements. So this is your business formation, terms of service, privacy policy, etc. There are some platforms you can use to get this. So I'd say around £200. And you can just convert this to dollars if you're in the US. So that's the first cost. The next one is store setup and a premium theme. Again, you can actually run Shopify for just £1 for 3 months. And then I believe it goes up to 30, £35 a month after that. But really, if you're going to learn to do it, you can go on YouTube and learn. You'd probably want to pay someone to actually put the store together for you. Minimum £500. Maximum, remember these are minimums. Maximum, I would say £5,000 or dollars plus to actually get a company to put together an amazing store that is really high converting. And again, in our business, I've personally invested around £25,000 now in marketing agencies, in conversion rate optimization, in search engine optimization, in all sorts of freelancers and agencies to come and improve our themes and templates. And again, £500 would be entry level if you were to go off on your own. Okay, so the next one will be your advertising budget. So this would be around £300 or dollars. Again, this is to launch on Google, and this is really to get going. It's your initial budget, around £15 to £20 a day for around 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, if you were to do this yourself, again, you could learn on YouTube, but most people who are beginners here would have to get an agency to actually manage the ads for the business as freelancers. This would be £500 to £1,000 a month at the low end. Again, a really good agency could charge $2,000, $3,000 every single month, plus a percentage retainer or a percentage of revenue, something like that. The next thing is software. So we've got some software. We've got tools like Klaviyo for email marketing. We've got analytics software, Polar Analytics, and a few others. Minimum £100 a month. There'll be a few apps that you may need for Shopify. So I'd say £100 a month. And also the last one, which I find very interesting, is I've had a lot of people who maybe like you've just thought you could do this yourself, and you've perhaps got some suppliers who've dangled the carrot in front of you, but they've said, we want an MOQ. We actually want you to buy 5 units up front at £1,000 per unit just to show commitment. And because that person may not have the exact strategy to overcome that, to overcome the objection, they end up paying £5,000 for stock that may not even sell. So again, there are unknown costs that will come into this if you do not know how to handle objections, how to actually approach the suppliers, and how to really say the right things to get the accounts open without you taking any risk. That's the key thing. So all in, we're looking, I would say, around £1,000 to £1,500 minimum. And if you were to go and do it yourself and hire all the people, we're looking at 10,000 plus, maybe more than that. And that's just its setup costs, not including retainers. So if you do it with a proven system, like we have here, then you're going to save a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. So there's really 3 variables that you have, right, in your life. So the first one is time. We are all limited on time. The next one is energy. Energy, again, is finite. I have never met someone who can work more than a day, 24 hours in a row, even at a stretch. And the final one is money. So all of these are interconnected. They all relate. And ultimately, you want to make more money, have more energy, and have more time. Okay? If you do it yourself, you can have less time, less energy, and less money because there are mistakes that will be made along the way. So let me show you just how these relate. So if we've got the first one, that is the setup, the company formations, and so forth. With us, if you do it with us, it's around 125 to 135, dependent on your region. This is to set up your company, to protect your home address wherever you live, to give you a bit of discretion there, to give you registrations legally, the ICO in the UK, set up sales taxes in the USA, things like that. Initially, that much. Again, this is kind of cost that you can't control, so just budget this in. The next one will be the store setup. So really for that, with us, with the store, it's just Shopify. So £1 times 3 months, or $1 if you're in the US, and then it's around 30, 35. They do change their plans for Shopify. Now, what are you saving here? Well, if you work with us, we've spent thousands, 20, 30,000 just on freelancers and agencies to help with modifying and adapting our themes, running split tests. And so with that, you get it. It just comes with an offering like ours. You would just get everything that me and my students use. We just give it to you. If you come and work with us, we'll give you the entire thing. You would just copy it. It's a copy and paste implementable template, but you would learn along the way. So you're taking the knowledge and the expertise and the money that me and my team and my students have invested, and you're just literally replicating it, okay? So the next thing here is an agency. Well, you would not need an agency for anything. You wouldn't need to hire anyone like that if you work with a professional, and you work with a company like ours where we have a masterclass, a mentorship, just because you will learn the skills that the agency would be doing anyway. And in fact, you'll probably even do better than an agency because they don't know the nuance of the high ticket method and some of the strategies we use. Software, again, I would say around 100, and your ads, I would say around 300. So all in, you're looking at about, we say around 500 to 600. That's if you were to work with a company like us, where we have everything pretty much there for you. Now that's to get the business up and running. And again, if you want to work with a business like us, we have a number of offerings from really low budgets, if you don't have much, a few £100s, all the way up to if you want us to actually build the business for you and work with you as a partnership. So just note that down. The sort of final investment amount you would need, either you do it yourself, 1,000 to 1,500 plus maybe even 10K if you wanted to do it properly and hire the right professionals, professional team to work with you, probably a lot more than that, especially over a year. Or with a business like us, 500 to 600 pounds, and you were good. That's the running cost. So it's tried and tested. You just need to implement. So that is one of the dark sides of this, is the unknowns, which are your time, your energy, your money. Make sure you are balancing those and you understand where you are putting your attention, okay? Because you may think that you know everything, but again, if you do it yourself, just be aware of the hidden costs. So the next thing here is scaling the ads. Now, what we look at here is MER, ROI, ROAS, conversion value over cost. There's a number of variables that we look at, but it's your efficiency ratio of your marketing. Quite simply, for every pound or dollar that you put into the system, what are you getting out? And if you're getting out £2 or dollars plus, then you're in a very good position because that machine can feed back into itself. In fact, you would just use the profits that you make, you would reinvest them back in, and you would keep scaling. Now, the issue that we see with this is that we use Google with our program, but I see a lot of people saying run Meta cold traffic. Run it on Advantage Plus, run it to a cold traffic with interests. You're going to lose a lot of money because there is no intent. And that's the key thing, is we want to have intent, we want to have buyer intent, and that intent is mainly held on Google. Things may change in the future, but what you need to make sure, one of the dark truths here, is that there is a lot of information about how you scale e-commerce. Now, granted, there are a lot of different strategies out there, but if you're following a combination of strategies and you're not measuring effectively, then your ROAS, your return on your ad spend, is going to be negative. And basically, you are just generating revenue. So it looks like the business is growing, but you're actually not keeping profit. And I've seen this. We've had some people come to us who've actually had existing stores. They have not managed their MER. They haven't managed their efficiency ratio. They haven't looked at their conversion value over cost. So with this, we would measure conversion value over cost. And if you're not measuring that, you need to understand your break even. You need to understand your margin. And so at the end of the day, usually it's around a 5. So conversion value 5 over 1 is usually break even, which represents 500% in Google Ads. So you could set your target ROAS 500%, but usually you want to be getting 800% or greater to ensure that we're above break even, because you do not want to be running a business where, yes, you're making high ticket sales and seems like you're making money, but actually at the end of the day, you're generating revenue and you're not keeping profit. And there's a number of things as well that are missing. And this is another dark truth with the ad side, is that people solely think that they need to scale the business using Google or Meta. Let me tell you something. That's not true, okay? We do have other methods. So SEO.ai, we know that AI is very powerful. This is a gem for you. This again is for SEO, which is organic search. So you can write organic search, and this is very important. Usually the timeline is 4 to 6 months to start getting results. And what happens is, if you're not familiar, is the search engines, they prioritize basically how respected your website is, to put it in layman terms. And over time, because we're using AI to create content that's very valuable, Google starts to rank it. But there's another factor here, which a lot of people miss. And so this is a real gem again, which is Awin. There are many affiliate platforms. Now, you may have heard of affiliate marketing, but Awin is an affiliate platform. And what you're going to do is you're going to be the business that lists on there, and you're going to hire loads and loads. And I'll draw them out for you. These circles, these are what we call publishers. So you're going to go and hire loads of publishers, and what they're going to do is they are going to come to your business and they're going to buy you a lot of traffic. So what they're doing is they're basically buying traffic, they're generating traffic for you. Maybe they have an email list, maybe they have social media, and all of that traffic is coming into your business. So effectively, your business is getting backlinks. And this is a key signal for the search engines. So I hope you can see how this works. You're getting high domain authority backlinks. Now, the benefit of this is these publishers will also make sales. And so why are they promoting you? Because they can get between 3 to 5% of whatever traffic they bring in. Okay. So 3 to 5% of any sale that's tracked automatically. So we're not necessarily having to rely on the ad machine. These things work together. The next thing is Klaviyo. So this is pretty simple. We're doing remarketing. And if you've seen my other videos, you will know how that plugs into our system. You can look on the channel after this and see how we use that in the flow diagram. I've seen a lot of businesses not even using email marketing or not using it correctly. So that's scaling the ads and systems. Next thing here is customer service. So this one is pretty simple, but when you're running a business, you have to understand there will be inquiries. So you have to learn. You have to learn what you're selling. You cannot be someone who doesn't understand your products. Now we can use AI, you can use ChatGPT, you can use your suppliers, but you must have an understanding. I just have to make that clear. Now, it doesn't mean you have to enjoy what you sell. You have to have an understanding of the products. I see a lot of high ticket businesses, they're saying sell whatever, sell really complicated electronic products. And the business owner doesn't know what they do or what the specifications are, okay? So you're gonna need systems for managing customer communications. There are a number of systems that we can use. One of them is Tidio. So Tidio is a great platform that we use for live chat. We can plug in all our other feeds, Instagram, Facebook, emails even that go into there. And we can also use AI within that. You need to be responsive within hours, not days. So again, one of the dark sides to this is how are you managing, if you're at work and you get a potential inquiry, how are you going to manage that? I'll tell you in a moment. You need detailed knowledge of your products. I've just said that. You need problem-solving skills for inevitable issues that may happen. You need to be a little bit smart. Again, we can rely on AI where it comes to certain situations, but this sort of problem-solving skills, you're either on your own solving the problem or you have a mentor or a team of people who you just ask the question. If an order goes wrong, if there's a disagreement with a customer, you need mentorship. You need someone there to come and ask, what do I do? And if it's me, who's your mentor, it could be me or someone else, you say, Lex, what do I do here? I'm in this situation. And I would solve it like that because I've seen everything. I've seen every single situation that can happen in your business already. Next, you need patience and you need to have good communication skills, excellent communication skills, because things don't happen overnight, as you're aware. So with this, how do we be responsive? Well, there's a number of things we can use. So I'm going to give you some insight here. We can use some platforms like in the UK, we can use Circle Loop. And this is for our phones. And we can have a phone number and we can go straight to voicemail, which is okay to start. Or what we can do is we can plug that into something like All Day PA. And there are many versions of this, but this will be a call answering service. They'll answer 24 hours a day if you want, or 8 hours a day when you're at work and so forth. And we can combine that with something like Tidio. So we've got Tidio. And we can combine that with something like Lyro. So Lyro is built into Tidio. And Lyro, we can see down here, is allowing us to reclaim 70% of our team's time with an AI agent. So you're going to have to learn how you use AI, but you can plug that into your business. It can answer live chat. It can answer inquiries. You can set up a whole flow in there. And again, in our program, I show you how you do that. Because one of the dark sides of this is you thinking, well, yes, it's only, if you're making £300 or dollars profit per sale and you're making 5 sales a week, that's 1,500. In a month, that's excellent, right? 6,000 pounds or dollars. I mean, that would be really good for you. But remember, from those, 5 orders, let's say you've got 5 orders per week, that means probably you would have had a lot more people inquiring, a lot more people contacting you, a lot more people emailing you. So when you get to certain revenue figures, usually when it's above sort of 10K pounds or 10K dollars, we do say that we need to put in systems to be able to manage that, right? And so fortunately, there are platforms like onlinejobs.ph. I don't see really people talking about how do you actually build a business. It's all kind of how do you get to the small numbers. But if you do want to have sustainable time, which you mentioned earlier, you want to be protecting your time, then you would use a platform like Online Jobs. We would find someone in the Philippines or elsewhere, Fiverr, Upwork, but Online Jobs is good. And you'd pay them a reasonable wage to start with. And that would be pounds or dollars, anywhere from 200 to 500 per month. And that doesn't sound like much, but I promise you it's a lot for them. So that just gives you an idea of really how you would manage the customer service. And you need to have that understanding of your products. You don't need to like them, but make sure that you have the system set up within your business to deal with scaling, to deal with those inquiries. Now, it's a lot less than low ticket, because with low ticket, as you may have seen in my other videos, there are thousands of inquiries, thousands of refunds, and it's way too much for you to handle. With this, it's a lot more manageable, up to around £10,000 or dollars of net profit per month. And I'm talking about net profit here, not revenue. So this would be net profit. You can quite simply manage it 5 to 10 hours a week. Okay, so the next one then is timeline. So I've left this one blank because, again, there is a big question mark here. Now, what I have to say with timelines, this is about earnings, about revenues. I get the question a lot, which is, number one, how much can I make from this? How long does it take? Well, how long is a piece of string? Okay, I know that's a sort of simple answer to give you, but the point is it depends on you, depends on the suppliers, depends on the niche, depends on the ads, depends on how quickly you do your SEO, depends on so many variables. But what I've done is I've compiled a list of data that we have from our students, and I'll just give you some indicational timelines here just to manage your expectations. So one of the dark sides of this is that you see online people say, well, I've got to 50K per month of profit, and they do it within 3 months. So if you are thinking you can do that within 3 months, 2 to 3 months, I haven't seen it yet. It's pretty rare unless you have a lot of firepower to begin with. Of profit per month, pretty much not doable. So what I'll show you then is how my students work and how we work and what we measure KPIs. These are just KPIs. These are just indicative to give you an idea. So here are our KPIs. So our KPIs are as follows. So the first KPI is how long does it actually take to build? So the build out to launch is probably around, we say give yourself around 4 to 6 weeks. It may stretch a little bit longer, up to 8 weeks, but usually 4 to 6 weeks is the build out. Then we want to do the launch. So the launch is usually week 6 to 8. And that is where we're actually starting to run the ads. We're starting to get some data. We're starting to make just a couple of sales profitably that are coming in. So the next thing now is how do we go from month 2? What happens between month 2 to 12? So again, these are just indicative, just to give you an idea. Now, you may be able to perform a lot faster than this. Again, these are average figures. I've had students go way faster than this, but this is to manage your expectations. So usually from month 2 to month 4, and this is with working with us, our students should be between 1 to 3K of profit per month. So I'll say PPM, but profit per month. Month 2 to 4. Some students may take 6 months, but on average, 1 to 3 a month. Month 4 to month 6, we are now between 3 to 5K profit per month, okay? And month 6 to month 12, again, these are just indicative, between 5 to 10K pounds or dollars. You can put this in pounds or dollars, profit per month. So you can see then, and I'll put a plus here because I've had students go way further than that, a lot higher than that, in fact, within 12 months. These just give you the realities of where you could be. So maybe you'll fit anywhere within here. I'm not sure what your goals are. If you have really, really ambitious goals, just remember that it may take 6 months, okay? It may take 12 months. It's not something that you can just scale up super fast. And a lot of people say this. One of the other truths is we're also reliant on suppliers. We're reliant on their timelines, the stock availability, how many you can get on board. And then also your budget. If you can put more into the ads, then you're going to scale a lot faster, but we would reinvest. So perhaps you fit into bucket 1 to 3,000 a month. What would that do for you? If you're watching this now and that would change your life, then great. Look at that timeline. 4 to 6 months, 3 to 5K. Perhaps you're in this bucket. What would 5,000 a month do for you of net profit? Working 5 to 10 hours a week. Just have a think about that. And if you're ambitious and you want to take this to where me and my students get it to, then it's above the 10K per month. And I have students way beyond that. Some of my best students have done several million pounds with this business model. So think about that. Just remember, these are estimates from what we have, the data we have, and you want to be realistic about where you're going to go with this. So as you can see here, these are all of the 5 dark truths about high ticket e-commerce and dropshipping. And I just want to end with this, which is currently right now, you are climbing a hill, you're climbing up this hill, and this hill, you're doing the right things. You've put all the right gear on, you're watching the right YouTube videos, and thank you for being on this channel and even getting this far, because not many people make it this far, I promise you. You're someone, if you've made it this far, who will achieve, you will get results, whether it's with me or someone else. But I just want to say that inevitably what will happen if you do launch is that you will have setbacks, and those setbacks are going to do something. Those setbacks, if you're here, if you're this person at the top, you think you're at the top of the mountain, you're definitely going to fall into the pit. You're going to fall into a pit, and there's going to be things you don't know, questions you may have, answers you're not going to get from anywhere, not online, not by having maybe someone in your network perhaps may help you, but there's going to be that pit. And that is the time. That's the time and the energy and the stress that inevitably will come from starting any business, whether it's this or any other business you're looking at starting. But if you were to work with me and my team, we would make sure, number one, that all of those truths that I've covered are safe with us. You would be covered from all the eventualities. Any questions you have, any issues you have, whether it's suppliers, whether it's the ads, whether it's the customer service, whether it's scaling, how to be profitable, you would have them answered. So rather than you being here and falling down, you would just jump right over. You would jump right over to the other side, and you would continue to go up. Because although this person here, they've gone down and they may go back up again, they inevitably and most likely will go back down the mountain all the way to where they started. Whereas the other person who has invested in themselves, their time, their energy, and they found the right mentor and the right program, they will be the ones who get over this, up onto the next hill, and they are up here and they are happy. They are standing at the top of that mountain, and they are extremely happy with the results. And, you know, if you're curious about what we do and you've looked at this channel and you've enjoyed this video, then I really do encourage you. We do want to speak with you. Book a call below. There'll be a link. Me and my team will take care of you. What you'll have to do is just register. There'll be a really quick training. You can watch it on 2x speed. You have to watch that. We want to work with people who are patient. So you have to watch the training, and then you'll be able to book in a 15-minute call with us just to get to know each other. We're not high-pressured sales. Trust me, we want to work with you. And if you want to do your due diligence, you can look around the web, search Dropship Circle, and see what comes up. See all the amazing reviews that we have, and look at our website too. So I want that to be you. I want to work with you. So I really hope that this video has highlighted to you what the dark side is of this industry and how you can overcome some of those things: the suppliers, the startup costs, the scaling, the customer service, and the timelines. So with that, I thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. So please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned, because we're going to have a lot of great content coming out on this channel.